Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sabah al khair. I am in the sun, I'm getting my vitamin D. Shukran. Allah yafiq. Yomak Saeed. Ooh, nothing quite like a hot coffee in the sun, right? But today, what I wanted to talk to you about was something I've been seeing in a lot of my client journeys. And they all genuinely follow these three distinct phases. There is the honeymoon phase, the first phase, which then really goes into the messy middle. And then the messy middle can last for a very long time before then really finishing with what I call the bullseye. The honeymoon phase, as you would expect, is really just around this excitement, the hype, something new. And that is where people start. They may never miss a session. They may be super strict with their diet. And they see some of these initial changes. And this usually can last anywhere between 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. After this, the problem is then it becomes routine, right? Like a marriage or a sort of relationship. It becomes routine and it's just less exciting. It's the same, it's expected, it's predictable. And so what generally happens at a time like this is people start to get a little bit bored, right? That excitement is over. And so maybe, even though they've seen good results in the first few weeks, these start to slow down, which is natural in a journey as well, right? So they start to kind of slow down a little bit, still kind of semi-consistent. But the problem is, with this honeymoon phase, is people then start to miss a session. They may have a little bit of this there, they may have a little bit of that, a little cookie with their coffee, that kind of thing. So things start to creep in. And the problem is, the progress then plateaus. And then if people give up here, they stop, they don't continue, they give up, which means they guarantee no progress. And so by doing that, right, they've had this initial burst of excitement, this initial rush of progress, and then khalas, they stop. And they think, fitness is not for me, it's too difficult, I was demotivated, I wasn't seeing results, etc. And so those people who then tend to stick with it, they then really focus on consistency, building the discipline, doing these sorts of things that then will bring them into this messy middle. And so now I'm a little bit sweaty. I regret my decision to sit outside, but inside it's too echoey and I'm a little bit awkward when everyone can hear what I'm saying, believe it or not. So then, we get into this messy middle phase. So phase one, this honeymoon, excitement, quick progress, that kind of stuff. And really then, if people navigate that well, they move into the sort of middle part of their journey. And this can be a month, 3 months, 6 months, depending on what the goal is. So if there's maybe 10, 15, 20 kilos to lose, this is a long phase. The thing that really causes this mess is the occasions, the stuff creeping in. Ramadan, family gatherings, travel, maybe an intense period at work, maybe a new baby. All of these situations that people then really just have to navigate. It's not just routine. It's not just discipline, same old routine. It is, oh my God, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this thing for a week? Oh my God, work is intense for 2 weeks. What do I do here? And this is where it just gets really, really messy. And so that is why routine is going to help for sure. But then you need these sorts of frameworks to then understand what it is you're going to do. So for example, if okay, I'm traveling for a week, what are my non-negotiables during that time? Am I looking at hotel workouts, body weight workouts? What is my approach to food when I'm away? How am I going to manage that? How am I going to manage Ramadan when I don't train and I eat shit? It's important for you to know this messy middle is normal. Progress can flatline through periods. That can be demotivating in itself. But it's really important for you then to know how to manage such occasions to minimize these things. And finally, before I pass out of heat exhaustion or just sweating buckets, the last phase, and this is where a lot of people miss. I am calling it the bullseye. And so this is where like accuracy, precision, control is needed more than anything you would have done before. And this is where you're getting like super, super close to your target. Maybe you've only got like 3 kilos left to lose. And with that, what we see is like, in order to get to like the very end of your goal, like to hit your goal, you need to be like tight and strict and super, super refined. There is like no margin for error. And so if you are someone who's been like intuitive, doing like this, doing like that, you know, on it like 80, 70% of the time, you're not going to get to this stage. Because by definition, like it needs to be precise. The margin for error is so small, and it's that much more important for you to like, whether it's calorie count, never miss a session, never miss your steps, just be laser focused on what it is you need to do. Anyway, this is my view this morning. Not bad, hey? I mean, I should have got here when it wasn't sunny, when I was in the shade. That was the plan, but I woke up a little bit late. But these things happen. So the plan for me today is I am going to take you on a morning with me. So we've had my morning coffee. Usually I have this inside in the air conditioning, but alas, we are here. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna work a little bit in the outside area, catch up with clients, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to get into a session, and then khalas, that's the video. Not a long one today, very simple, very straightforward. Out in the sun, all for the content. AC, get in my face right now. That's as high as it can go. I just need the gigaton. Forever roadworks, I swear. And the beauty of arriving to the gym early is there are so many parking spaces. Ooh. Where do I want to park? I want to park in the shade. I always have a go at people for not parking between the lines. So that is something I have to do. Perfect. Okay, so I'm set up in the gym lobby. I had an accident. I spilled coffee all over my laptop and my keyboard, so I've been doing like this, trying to get all of the coffee out, and I think it's alive, which is the most important thing for now. But I've been working on making adjustments to a client's program, and this is a lady who's been absolutely crushing it, right? She works in a hospital, works crazy hours, and for her, one of the things that she's been struggling with is like on those crazy work days, it's how is she able to get her sessions in and go to the gym. So we structured it previously like 3 training sessions in the gym across the course of the week. However, now what we have done is we've got her to buy some dumbbells for home. So she has sort of 2.5, 5 kilos, 7.5 and 10. And she is now able to, on those stressful days or busy days at work where she can't make it to the gym after work, she comes home, she lifts her dumbbells, she follows the programs that we have updated to accommodate for that, and she smashes it knowing that she is staying to the structure, which is fantastic because consistency is the biggest thing. And something else actually on her journey is she was telling me the last time we had a call last week that people in the workplace, they have for years taken the piss. Right, they have been, whenever she has tried to do more steps or move more or train or follow a diet, she has been like ridiculed. People taking the piss, people laughing, which to be honest is absolutely horrible and inexcusable anyway. But now she is like 5-6 months in with us. Obviously she's seeing fantastic changes, body fat, shape, tone, energy levels is another huge one, that now people are actually sort of following her. Like not by admitting it, right? But they're trying to close out their steps. They're ordering the same meals as her. They're starting to work out in the gym. And this is one of the powerful sayings that I think, you know, if you are in a similar position will help you. It is very much, first, they will ask you why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You're never gonna change, this and that. And then, once they see what it is that you're doing, they will ask you how. So first they will ask you why, then they will ask you how. So whatever you're doing, like stick to it. Don't let the fuckers around you dictate what you're going to do or if you're going to succeed. Be single-minded in this. Like, find your tribe, find your people, and then all those people who were naysayers at the beginning, they will be on your heels. They will be asking you how, and they will be trying to change for themselves. Jealousy is a funny thing. I need to get through more of these check-ins now. Yes, we do have a little bit of fun with our gifts in our group chats. So we've got embodies to review. I've got a bunch of messages to review as well, kind of stacking up from last night. And so we're in. Let's go, team. I think I'm going to have to cut this session short because there's too many damn mosquitoes around. And you know when there's like mosquitoes and you just cannot concentrate because you're like, any itch is like, I hate them. I hate them. It's this white blood, this foreigner blood, Ajnabi blood. How do you say? Dam Ajnabi? Dammi? My blood. Khalas, time to train. All right, it is time to mentally prepare. We got this. It's almost like I forgot you. So today on the cards we have an upper body focus session, which means we're starting with some pulling, we're starting with some back. What do we have to first? We start with the vertical pull, so down here. Then we start with a horizontal pull here. We come into a little bit of chest and some arms as well. It's always funny listening to people in the gym shouting Arabic because I start to understand a little bit more about what they're saying. So you think these people over here, they're training hard, right? They're saying umshi, umshi, which I think is like walk, right? But I think it's kind of like a go faster, like move, 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 that kind of thing here. Because it seems like they're pushing hard. Al-Mahem. Talking of pushing, Yalla Pete, Idfa. So moving into my last warm-up set here. So I usually only do about 6, 7, 8 reps for a warm-up. You don't want to tire yourself out, but you want to get your body accustomed to the weight. Right, I'm good to go. I'm good to hit my big sets. Okay, let's try out this funky little angle. I don't know if it's going to look any good. But anyway, first working set, I am going for 12 reps. Right. واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة ثمانية تسعة عشرة 11 12 come on Alright, first set done. Let me tell you a little cheat code to get in more steps within the day. Literally between sets, you just walk. Amshi bus, back and forth, up and down. It only really works when the gym is empty though, because obviously if you leave your piece of equipment, people come. People are like sharks in the gym. So you can literally get another 2,000 steps just by walking between sets. Plus it's a nice way to just not be on your phone, using your phone, and then before you know it, like you've run out like 5 minutes of doom scrolling and you've kind of lost any intensity that you had within a session. We are on to our second exercise of the session. I'm not going to take you through all the exercises within today's session, but I'm going to pick up on a few things I mentioned sort of when I was sweating my tits off when I was getting coffee, right? And I think the first bit really is that like honeymoon phase that you're in within your journey, right? If you're in the gym, everything feels new. You're doing new exercises, you're quickly increasing the weights that you're hitting. But that sort of rapid change and excitement and hype and strength gains, they're only going to stay for a while, and then it's going to sort of come down and be a much more like gradual, lower kind of incline of an upward trajectory. So I think that is, again, where people start to get demotivated, right? You're in the gym, same, doing the same exercises, blah, 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 not seeing as much progress as I was before. And that is exactly where you just hold course, keep doing your thing, keep putting the principles into play of progressively overloading your training, much like in the video that I shared a couple of weeks back on sort of, are you really training hard enough? Because that is going to be the thing that kind of keeps that progress going. If you are stuck on the same weight, if you are, not increasing, not pushing, not striving, then everything is always going to be the same. That's okay.
I'm using the machine?
I am. I have 2 sets, but jump in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. تفضل. What's your thing?
Podcast.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What kind of topics or all sorts and everything?
Yeah, it's general.
It's funny, like I've been more sort of on Instagram, growing on Instagram. But like for me, I don't know if you found the same, but like the short form stuff, like because I'm a coach, the short form stuff is very like hooks and this and that, and I fucking hate it. It can be fun for a while, but now like there's more, you want more substance, more depth.
Right.
And so like, yeah, with YouTube it stays. And like you get to like be more you rather than just performing in front of others. So like I saw great growth on Instagram, like I got to like, I'm at like 162,000. And that was just like in the space of a year.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just fucking like mind numbing.
yeah. That's why I like podcasts, because I was also interested. I'm not.
No. It's a chill Thursday morning. But what's your name?
My name is Hatem.
Hatem? Okay, Peter.
Peter.
Lovely to meet you.
I'll see you on Instagram.
What a nice conversation. That's what I mean, right? Is when you're in the gym, you get this kind of vibe. You meet people. If you're at home, very, very boring. All right, we're going for. Oh, he didn't change the weight. Murphy muscular. All right. I think I'm going to go for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay, I said I would go for 10. It's easy. 11, good. And 12, let's go. 13, 14. Coaching point. If your program says a specific number, 10 reps, then you get to 10, and you can do more. Do more. Don't stop. Do more until you can't. And one of the things to talk about a little bit more, I think, is just in relation to the messy middle, right? We've talked about the honeymoon phase and how with that you need to just, match up the expectations and the reality of the rate of progress and how that changes over time. The messy middle. That can be a very long period of time. That can be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9, 12, depends on obviously what your goal is. But that is where the consistency really is the big factor. Are you 60% consistent, 70, 80, 90, 100? And how long does that run over? Because if you're consistent for a few days, everything's going great. And then you have a day off, you chill, maybe you eat shit, whatever it is, then that's going to step you back, right? So it's kind of like, are you continuously taking steps forward within your journey? Or are you continuously taking 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, as soon as something comes and derails you? And so what you really need to make sure during this phase is obviously know where you're going and what it is you need to do to start or continue seeing the progress in that. But also you need to understand how you manage the shit life throws at you, how you manage the plateaus, because there will be plateaus in your journey, right? You lose 5 kilos, you hit a plateau. That is one of these messy middle situations. And so it's understanding what you need to do, like what levers, what variables you need to pull on to continue seeing that progress. And if you are going in blind, and if you're not really sure about what you're doing, and yes, this was working before and now it's not, that is where you're going to have a problem. And that is what I do. I come in and obviously coach you through those moments of like demotivation, sort of frustration, and giving you that like clarity on what exactly you need to do at this moment to get over the messy middle, the ongoing messy middle, the messes in the middle. All right, you're set on the biceps. Come on. 10. Okay, so that session was 66 minutes. So obviously I didn't show you everything because I think that would be quite boring for you. Equally, I'm not going to show you all my steps because that'll be even more boring for you. But now what I'm going to do is about 30 minutes of steps, as I always do after my workout. Again, if you want to lose fat, steps are going to be the best thing for you. That's not just a high step count 1 day a week. Every single day you need to increase on what you're doing. Last section, the last phase we have to talk about is the bullseye phase, which is where you're getting like so close to your ultimate goal, right? You are like 10%, 15% away from like where you want to be, where you want to maintain for the rest of your life. And this is the time where you have to get like laser focused on what it is you're doing. So for example, if you started your journey by just looking at principles and servings of protein, portion sizes, as you get deeper in, as you get nearer and nearer your end goal, you need to be looking at grams of protein, grams of carbohydrate, calories. You need to get that last like stubborn fat off of you, especially if you haven't had an experience of calorie counting and intuitive eating before. You need it. And so you need to then know what exactly your targets are in your steps, in your training, and you need to hit those consistently. It may mean, it takes over your life a little bit more, but to go somewhere you haven't been before, to reach a goal you haven't reached before, you have to do things you haven't done before. And so, yes, you may have to sacrifice the social occasions. You may have to sacrifice the weekly free meal, for example, but it's worth it if you want the goal. If you don't want to compromise, if you don't want to sort of be a bit unbalanced or sort of laser focused in that way, that's fine. You just most likely won't get that last 10 to 15% of your goal, which is totally up to you, right? If you're someone who just cares about living a healthy, active lifestyle, maybe the last couple kilos of body fat doesn't necessarily matter that much to you to sacrifice that much, which is perfectly fine. So I'd like to think I've given you a bit of a overview of what like a usual journey looks like, right? You've got the honeymoon phase, the excitement, the fun, and then you've got the messy middle, which is where all of the struggle comes in. The challenges, the fact you need to rely on discipline, not motivation. You have to rely on your systems and your habits, this sort of stuff. And that is where a lot of people, the messy middle, they give up because it's chaos. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to do it. They don't know what they need to do consistently. They don't know how to level up over time. So if that is you, then reach out, right? We can talk about it. We can see what it is that you need to do to overcome these things. Or if you're in a position where you don't even know how to start, then let's jump on a call. Let's chat through. Because ultimately, if you have a plan, you have direction, you have your targets, it's up to you to execute. And then that is where the coaching comes into play of how can we be consistent with these targets over time to make sure we are steadily building. The body fat, for example, is coming down very nicely, very predictably, and we take away that frustration, that kind of unknown, the uncertainty, the unpredictability of it all. And we have hit the 30-minute mark, which means it's time to stop.